Everyone has joined. We can start now.
Yes.
So in the last class, we have discussed already the 6 attributes of the Dhamma. Then we had also discussed about Buddha's immediate disciples, who were the close disciples, and how the close disciples like Sariputta Moggalan and others like Anand, how they were very much helpful in spreading the teachings of the Buddha. So we had also discussed in our last class regarding the personality of the Buddha also. So today we are going to discuss about the role of women in propagation of the teachings of the Buddha also. So we are going to discuss about the role of the woman, how the role of the woman were very much influential in the spreading of the teachings of the Buddha. So we had also seen that in Madhyam Nikaya, Bahudhatuk Sutta and other suttas, Buddha has always praised the intelligentsia of women also. Buddha always says that women are also as intelligent as men, and they are also capable for getting a state of eternal bliss. So, and we have also seen in that how in the society of the Buddha also says that all the varnas like Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras, they are equal, no one is inferior. And Buddha also says that whosoever says that one is superior, like Brahmanas are saying that they are superior than other caste, it is papakam dithigatam, they are involved with the false views. And Buddha also says that there is no any, you can say, distinctions between the caste Brahman, Kshatriyas, Vaisya, and Sudras, and all are equal. Again, Buddha also says that, and Buddha had given the 4 types of system like bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasak, and upasika. These were the 4 stratifications of the society made by our Buddha. So we have seen that how sometimes Buddha has praised the qualities of theories also, like Patachara, Dhammadina, and others. Buddha always praises the intelligentsia of the women also. And Buddha says that they are also able to get arhatasip. But in the later commentaries, Acharya Buddha Ghosa, sometimes he has interpreted in different manner that a woman cannot get a state of Buddhahood. So it is another matter of discussions. But here we are discussing that how women were influential in spreading the teachings of the Buddha. We are quite aware that Ananda was very much helpful in establishing the bhikkhuni sangha. Mahāpajāpati theory, who was the stepmother of our blessed one Buddha, and she was persuading the blessed one Buddha that let me allow to enter into the Buddhist sangha, but Buddha didn't allow it. And Buddha was having some reservations regarding the women also, and he was not in that sense that women are not capable of entering into the Buddhist sangha, but he was very much fearful that the women will be prey to the male or bhikkhus of the bhikkhu sangha related with the sensual pleasure. And he was in Southern Pundrik Sutra and other sutras also Buddha says that if women are allowed to enter into the Buddhist Sangha, the life of the Buddhist Sangha will be shortened 500 years, less than whatever you can say. There will be life. And he was saying that if the women are not allowed into the Buddhist Sangha, the life of the Buddhist Sangha or Buddhism will be more than 1000 years. Otherwise, if women are allowed to enter into the Sangha, the life of the Buddhist Sangha will be shortened 500 years less. So this was some reservations related with the our blessed one Buddha, but he was not in favor that there should not be any entrance of the women to the Buddhist Sangha. After repeated persuasions by his close disciple Anand, Buddha was, you can say, ready to allow women to enter into the Sangha. And we see that after Mahāpajāpati theory, Gotami, how the Buddhist women Sangha was, or bhikkhuni Sangha was formed, and how they were helpful in establishing or propagating the teachings of the Buddha. If you go through the utterances of the theories in Theory Gatha, we see that how in that utterances the theories have given their sayings from the inner core of their heart, and how they have been blessed with the teachings of the Buddha, how they have realized the teachings of the Buddha related with the Tilakhana, Four Noble Truth, Eightfold Path, the law of dependent originations, how they have realized the teachings of the Buddha. We are seeing the utterances of the theories in Theory Gatha, and how the theories are also able to propagate the teachings of the Buddha. When this Parajika and Pachitya, there were 227 rules for the bhikkhus and 311 rules for the bhikkhunis. When these were being formed, then Visākhā Migar Mata, she was very much influential in forming two Anita Dhamma. If you see, there are 227 rules for the Bhikkhu Patimokha, and they have been divided under the 8 headings: Parajika, Sanghadishesa, and third is the Anita Dhamma. There are 2 types of Anita Dhamma, which were framed as a rules for the bhikkhus only on the suggestion of Visākhā Migar Mata. And Visākhā Migar Mata was so much influential that he asked his all family members of his family to enter into the Buddhist Sangha. We have already seen that how just with his whole family and with his 54 close friends, how he established the Buddhist Sangha in after returning the first fill of law at Rishipatan Mrigdao Saranath. So in the same way, Visākhā Migar Mata was very much helpful in asking her family members to enter into the Buddhist Sangha. So we are seeing that how they were very much close associate, and they became very close associate of the our blessed one also. And Buddha also gave a path for purity of the womankind also, and for that he had given some of the things for the welfare of the women. And we see that there are Atgaru Dhamma, which were framed by the Buddha, not only for, and this Atgaru Dhamma was considered as a very strict rules for the nuns. And even 100 years old, a nun, she was supposed to salute a 20-year monk or bhikkhu also. So this type of rules were framed not only for, you can say, in the sense of making inferior, but how there should be a close harmony in the Buddhist Sangha. In that way, he was having his mind, and he framed some of the rules for the bhikkhunis. And he says that how these rules are helpful in the welfare of the bhikkhunis. And we see that how Ananda was very much successful in getting Siddhartha's own foster mother or stepmother, Mahāpajāpati Gotami, as well as Buddha also agreed to form the Buddhist bhikkhuni sangha. So these are some of the qualities of the our bhikkhuni sangha, and the roles of the bhikkhunis were significant in the sense of propagating the teachings of the Buddha also. And we see that how in the Buddhist sangha the rules were framed, and the role of Pali, how Pali became very much popular, and how she has donated all his mango grove to the Bhikkhu Sangha, and how she was very much helpful in propagating the teachings of the Buddha, and how a Nagar Badhu of Vaisali became more popular. And see how, if you go through the utterances of the Ambapali theory, you will find that how she has realized the teachings of the Buddha, and how the related with the all things are subject to impermanence, anicca, all things are subject to suffering, dukkha, and all dhammas are subject to soulless. So these have been made clear in the utterances of Pali. So this utterances of other theories are also very, you can say, instigating to other women to join the Buddhist bhikkhuni sangha. So there was another people are saying that Buddha was very much hesitant to form the bhikkhuni sangha. It was not like that, and we see that how 6 contemporary teachers, those who were teachers at the time of the 6th century BC or at the time of the Buddha, there were teachers like Purana Kassapa, Makhali Gosal, Pakudika Chayan, Nigantanath Putta, Sanjay Belatti Putta. There were 6 contemporary teachers, and there were competitions among all religious thinkers at that time also. And Buddha was not in, you can say, taking any risk for his who, that is the Buddhist Sangha, what he had formed a novel Sangha. So in that way, he was initially hesitant, but after the persuasion of the Ananda, and how Ananda was successful in persuading Blessed One that when you had taken birth, your own mother Mahamaya had passed away, and she was the lady who took nursing at the time of your birth. And in that way, if you allow her in Buddhist Sangha, you can repay the merits of allowing her to enter into the Buddhist Sangha. So this was the persuasion by Anand, and Anand was successful in persuading the Buddha also. And it was also that Buddha denounced and that there are some wrong views related with the women also. And Buddha denounced all these things initially. So if you go through the other related with the woman, if you see that how the Buddha Visākhā, who was very much devout and generous daughter of the millionaire Anath, that is the Dhanañjaya. So if you go through the reading material, she has given that how Visākhā was responsible for converting all the members of his family or her father's-in-law family from Jainism to Buddhism. So this is a great, you can say, some of the followers of Jainism, they joined the Buddhism. So in that way, women were also, you can say, helpful in propagating the teachings of the Buddha, because most of the families were inspired with the utterances of theories, and in that way, the teachings of the Buddha became more popular at that time also. So this is one of the points which have been discussed by our, and Buddha was very much, you can say, kind enough, and Buddha says that see, all the women are as capable, and if you go through the Dhammadinna Patachara, Buddha says that they are more capable than the male bhikkhus, and Buddha sometimes praises their intellect in Majjhima Nikaya and other suttas in theories also. So in that way, the role of the woman, we can say that how Buddhism was spread with the propagation of the teachings of the Buddha by the theories or by the bhikkhunis or nuns. So next point we are going to discuss about the patronage of the kings, clans and others. How the kings, at the time of the Buddha, King Bimbisar was the ruler of Magadha. And we see that how in Samaya Phala Sutta, in Dignikaya, how Bimbisar approaches to the Buddha, Ajātasattu also approaches. And in that way, he asked that what are the fruits of leading a life of recluse also. And in that way, we are hearing the. So in that way, the role of the king, if you see that how the kings had played a great role in propagating the teachings of the Buddha, how the kings became more, you can say, close to the teachings of the Buddha. And we see that how Bimbisar and Ajātasattu, they had played in forming the monasteries for the Buddhist Sangha, and how they have made Aram, Bihar, Mahāpajāpati, and how the small kuttis were formed for the staying of the bhikkhus also. We are quite aware that in near Nalanda, Antaracha Rajgam. In Rajgah, there is a Beluvan Aram. That is there is a, you can say, rest house which was named as Beluvan, Bamboo Grove. And how Beluvan Aram in Rajgarh became more popular. and it was constructed by the king of Magadha also. And how we see that how Anath Pindaka, the lay disciple, who was the Srishti, he also made Jetvan Anath Pindakas Aram in Sravasti. So how the ladies were also, our Srishtis were also helpful in making the teachings of the Buddha more popular at that time also. So if you see that how the king Bimbisar of Magadha uh, attended to his welfare and protections to the Sangha, and how we see that for the protections of the Buddhist Sangha, he had given some Aram, Bihar, Mahabihar, like that, and he offered the Bambo Grove at Beluban Aram. We have already, and it was the first gift to the Buddha by the any king, and how his Sangha for making a rest house or lodging. So this is the thing. On the same occasion, he also advised the Buddha on framing the Vinaya rules also. So we are also getting some of the informations in Diknikai that how the king has asked the Blessed One to frame some of the rules for the bhikkhu or bhikkhunis. Like he asked that those who had been servant of the king, they must not join the Buddhist Sangha, or those who are in prison in the and after coming out from the prison, the people were going to join the Buddhist Sangha. So in that way, king of Magadha asked Buddha to frame the rules that those persons who have been employee of the kingdom, Magad kingdom, or those who have served in administrative hierarchy of the king, they should not be allowed to join the Buddhist Sangha. And the ex-criminals who were excommunicated from the society, and they were put into the jail. And after some years, when the jail, their punishments were over, they used to come to join the Sangha also. So in that way, the kings asked the Blessed One not to allow ex-criminals and the employees of the state to join the Buddhist Sangha. Again, we are aware that how King Pashendi of Kosala, who was also a great benefactor of the Buddha and his Sangha, we are quite aware that there were a great rivalry between the kings of the King Kosala and King Magadha. They were fighting again. We are also getting informations from the Jatkas that how the Kasi Naresh, the king of the Kasi, used to make a rivalry with the king of Kosala, and they were fighting against the river distribution or water distribution. There were so many issues, and there were some, you can say, maternal relations also. So in that way, sometimes the queen of Kasi were robbed by the king of Kosala also. And the king of Kasi, like, Kasi Naresh's son, he became strong with the support of other kings, and then he defeated the king of the Kosala, and he was successful in getting his mother from the kingdom of Kosala. So we are having the references like this, and Kosala was very much a devout of teachings of the Buddha also, and he used to give us so many donations to the Buddhist Sangha also. And when his king Malika gave birth to a daughter, the Buddha paid a glowing tribute to the woman with the statement that the same women are even better than me. So see how we are getting the informations that how the King Koshala, when he got a news of that he has been bestowed with a daughter, he became very much perplexed with the news of the daughter. But Buddha was successful that how women are more intellectual than the men also. So thus, in that way, the status of women in the society at the time of 6th century BC was high also, because Buddha was always praising the qualities of the women at that time, at the 6th century BC. So we see that how in the teachings of the Buddha, women are given high importance. But it was the later commentator like Acharya Buddha Ghosh, they have interpreted in different manner, maybe in interpolated way or in highly, you can say, mm, biased statement by the commentators. So in that way, it is said that a status of women of in the sense in India was very much high at the time of the 6th century BC. So again, we see that how Anathapindaka and was also millionaire and foremost alms giver. So we have seen that how the Sreshtis, like Anathapindaka, we have already discussed that how Anathapindaka had met an arama, that is the rest house at the Sravasti. And we see there are so many suttas which start with the statement like this: Eome Sutam, Ekam Samayam Bhagava, Savatyam Viharati, Anathapindakasya Jetvane Arame. So Anathapindaka Jetvan Aram was the place where Buddha had spent much of the time, and he had given his preachings to the people of Sravasti. So the Arama, the monastery, which was built by, this was the Anathapindaka. So we see that how Anathapindaka was very much, you can say, helpful in propagating the teachings of the Buddha also. And it was through his effort, the Anathapindakas, that few of his discourses were served as the guide for the duties and the responsibilities of the lay follower or lay Buddhist also. We have also some of the suttas like Sigalo Vada Sutta in Digha Nikaya, where we find the what are the duties of the householder towards his family members, towards his wife, towards his sons, towards his teachers, and others. There are 6 directions which have been discussed in the Sigalovada Sutta also. And in Sigalovada Sutta, that how you have to behave with your friends, the teachers, your parents, your wife, your sons also. And in that way, there are 6 directions in which Buddha has asked to behave properly according to discourses of the Buddha also. And so in that way, the teachings of the Buddha, which are especially meant for the householders, and there are some duties which have been given for only the householders, not for others. So this we find in the Gahapati Sutta also, Gahapati Vag also, in Anguttara Nikaya, in Sanjukta Nikaya, we are having so many differences that how householders were more, you can say, helpful. If you go through the Milind Pahyo, Bahir Katha, the first chapter of Milind Pahyo, we are having that how the Sreshtis were very much aware of the teachings of the Buddha, especially with Abhidhamma. So Abhidhamma teachings were very much known to the lay followers also. So lay followers were also helpful in getting the teachings of the Buddha more popular at that time also. We see that how the Sreshtis were going to the Jammu and how they were selling their rice there and taking out, coming out from those places. So we have vivid description of his journey, how he is coming from Sialkot to our Patliputra. So there is a reference and how the duties of a lay follower and how the duty lay followers were more, you can say, skilled than the more bhikkhus and bhikkhunis also. So in that way, the lay followers were also successful or influential in propagating the teachings of the Buddha to the common mass or common society also. Again, he also requested that this Anatha Pindaka, who was a millionaire and he was alms giver also. So whenever Buddha was going to Anath Pindaka Aram, there were more than 500 bhikkhus, Mahata Bhikkhu Sanghena. So all the alms, the meals were being provided by the king to the Bhikkhu Sangha also. And for more than 500 bhikkhus, you can suppose that if they are staying for 15 days or 1 month, how the exchequer of the king was very much burdened with the lapsage of the grains or animals. So in that way, Anath Pindak was very much in you can say successful in propagating the teachings of the Buddha. And Anath Pindak also asked Buddha to make Bodhi tree as a be planted for all the devotees from all the places also to pay their respect also to the Buddha during his absence. And whenever Buddha is not there, so Buddha, the followers of the Buddha can go to the pay respect to the people tree, and it will be respect of the Blessed One, the Buddha also. So we have also seen that how courtesans like Pali, the Ganika, how she has donated her generous gift to Buddha, her mango grove for the Bhikkhu Sangha or Bhikkhuni Sangha in Vaisali. So if you go through the Ambapali theory, the life and teachings, whatever we are getting from the from the theory gatha, we can have an understanding of this contribution of the courtesans or ladies also. Again, we are seeing that how Jivaka, the great physician Jivaka Kumar Bhacha, he was the son of a blacksmith. That is why he is called as Kamhar Putta. Kamhar Putta means the son of a clay maker. Those who are making the pots of the earth clay pots and others. in another way, how they were more skilled in the pottery, makings or the gifts or things also. So Jivaka Kumar Bhacha, he was a great physician. He was having the great knowledge of Ayurveda at of that time also, and how Jiva Kumar Bhacha also offered in the Sangha a monastery, and that is called as Jivaka Ammabana. So this was the gift given by Jivaka Kumar Bhacha for the personal or you can say propagation of the teachings of the Buddha, and to accommodate the Sangha in the 20th Vassa in Rajaka. So in during the Asad, in English it is called as uh, July and August. In the month of July and August, there is a ceremony of all the, you can say, bhikkhus, Vassavas. So they used to stay at Amban to accommodate the Sangha in the 20th Vassa in Rajagaha. So in Rajagaha, there was a bhikkhuni Sangha, or you can say the Jivaka Kumara Bhacha. So it was in the 20th year of the Rajagaha incident. So this is the that how, and we have also seen that how the close disciples of the Buddha, they were helpful in propagating the teachings of the Abhidhamma. How Abhidhamma, which was very deep, profound teachings of the Buddha, how these profound teachings of the Buddha became more popular at the time of, you can say, 6th century BC. So we see that after the Mahāpajāpati of the Buddha, Buddha also only says that by Buddha says that by Dhamma Sankhara Apumadena Sampadita, that all things are subject to impermanence, work with diligence. So these were the last words here. So Buddha also says that how the teachings of the Buddha become more popular by the family members or by the others, you can say. So let us finish here the role of the women as well as the patronage of the king, clans and others, how the kings, the prestige, the tradesmen and others became more successful in propagating the teachings of the Buddha, or becoming Buddha as a powerful personality at the time of Buddha also. So if you have any question related with the today lectures, we can discuss the questions if you have. Otherwise, we can move to other sections also.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
You have mentioned the 227 Patimokha.
Yes.
Then Attagaru Dhamma, it is for monks or
Bhikkhunis.
bhikkhunis?
For bhikkhunis. At Garu Dhamma, these are Garu Dhamma means strict rules. Garu Dhamma, they are very strict in the sense that for a normal woman, these rules are not being followed. Since it was strict rules, even 100 years old nun, she was supposed to salute a 20 years bhikkhu. So how it is a, you can say, painful for a bhikkhuni who is more than 70 years or 80 years or 100 years old, but because of becoming a woman, she has to pay salutation to the bhikkhu who has just joined the sangha. So, and there were other rules also. So, these are not part of the Parajika or Pachitya rules, because Pachitya, all together, if you see, there are 5 books in Vinay Pitaka: Mahavagga, Chulavagga, Parajika, Pachitya. Okay, Parajika contains Parajika Dhamma, Sanghadises, and Anita Dhamma for the bhikkhus and for the bhikkhunis. Okay, so see the difference. There are only 4 Parajika Dhammas for the bhikkhu, but there were 8 Parajika Dhammas for the nuns. In the same manner, there were 13 Sanghadises, rules for the monks, but there were 17 rules for the bhikkhunis. But for the bhikkhus, there were 2 Anita Dhamma. Okay, but Anita Dhamma was not for the bhikkhunis. We have already seen that these 2 rules were implemented as a Parajika Dhamma on the suggestion of Visākhā Migar Mata, because she felt that bhikkhus must be also in some limit area, so that bhikkhunis must not be exploited. So in that sense, the women bhikkhunis asked Buddha to frame these 2 rules only for the bhikkhus. And under the Pachitya, we are having Pachitya, Nisagya Pachitya, Adhikaran Samatha, Sekhiya Dhamma, Pati Desaniya. So these are some of the rules, and they are also differing, because for bhikkhus there are less rules, and for the bhikkhunis there are more rules. In total, altogether, there are 227 rules for the monks, bhikkhus, and there are 311 rules for the nuns. There are more than 90 rules which are more given in the bhikkhunis, rules for the Parajika and Pachitya. So that is why we are having 2 books, namely Parajika and Pachitya. Yes, any question? Any more?
Attagaru Dhamma, these rules are only for bhikkhunis. Attha.
Yes, only for bhikkhunis.
Like Anitya Dhamma for monks.
Anita Dhamma is coming under the Parajika Dhamma, but Attagaru Dhamma is not coming under the, you can say, Parajika or Pachitya. It is besides of that.
Besides of that.
It is only related with their behavior towards the bhikkhu sangha, but they are not included in the rules. They are 8 strict rules how they have to live in the monastery. It is also said that they cannot stay at a place where there are no monks also. If women are staying, there must be some monks also there to give the protections for the ladies. So women cannot decide themselves that we have to stay in this aram or monastery, say in a secluded manner. But the Attagaru Dhamma, there is a one rule also, that you have to stay at a place in a monastery where bhikkhus are also staying in that monastery, or the you can say aram, bihar, whatever it is. So they cannot stay independently. So these are the rules, you can say.
Okay, got it. Understood.
Yes. Rahul, do you have any question?
What is the difference between Parajika and Pachitya?
Parajika is a Parajit Huna, that one who is being defeated. What is the, there are 4 rules for the bhikkhus. There is a panatipata, killing a living being. If a monk kills a living being, then he is defeated. Parajika, parajit hona, that he is defeated to become a monk. So you are expelled from the Sangha for 1 month, for 2 months, or for 3 months. You are not, you will remain the, you can say, as a bhikkhu, but your bhikkhuship is ceased for 1 month or 15 days. When you have confessed that you have killed anyone, you have killed your parents, or you have stolen anything which has not been given to you, and if you have confessed panatipata, adinnadana, kamesu mikshachara, if any bhikkhu has indulged in any sexual misdeeds, he is being defeated. That is a parajiko bhavamti parajiko. That a bhikkhu is parajika in the sense that he is being defeated to become a monk. Pachitya is to confess the rules. Pachitya is one of the rules which are related with the like Sākyan Dhamma, Patidesniya Dhamma, Adhikaran Samatha Samma. These are how the bhikkhus can be trained in becoming a Buddha, becoming a, you can say in the true sense, a bhikkhu. And these rules are nothing. All the 227 rules, they are making trainings to become a very disciplined person, so that a person can get a state of eternal bliss. The Vinayak rules, Vinay is that Vises Pakarena Nayati iti Vinayam. That a Vinay rules are in the sense of taking human beings from the state of suffering to the state of eternal bliss. So in that sense, these are the rules which have been framed for trainings. Trainings means for make them sikshavan, that how they are being trained, like a person who is doing B.Ed, Bachelor in Education or Master in Education. So that is the training. Bachelor in Education, that is the sense of trainings. All the rules are framed, and a person is being trained, and then he is called as trained graduate teachers, TGT, like PGT, postgraduate trained teachers. So trained teachers means that one who has been trained, a bhikkhu has been trained with the Parajika Pachitya rules. So Pachitya is the name of the group of the rules for the bhikkhu or bhikkhunis, which are starting from the Pachitya, Nisagya Pachitya, Patidesniya, Adhikaran Samatha, or Sākyan. There are 5, you can say, sections which are coming under this. And under the Parajika, only Parajika, Sanghadisesa, and Anita Dhamma. For the bhikkhus and for bhikkhunis, only Parajika and Sanghadisesa. There is no Anita Dhamma for the bhikkhunis. There are 8 sections for the bhikkhus, and there are 7 headings for the bhikkhunis. Any more question?
Thank you. No question.
So, Hiroko, do you have any question?
Yes. Now, real bhikkhuni sangha disappeared. So, how long actually the bhikkhuni sangha had continued?
Bhikkhuni Sangha, na?
Yeah,
Yes,
bhikkhuni sangha, yeah.
we are having that, we are quite aware that in a very brief manner, there is a great history of establishment of Bhikkhuni Sangha. If you remember that how King Ashoka asked his daughter Sanghamitra to go to Sri Lanka to propagate the teachings of the Buddha, and how Bhikkhuni Sangha was formed in Sri Lanka in 3rd century BC, 251 BC. In Sri Lanka, 3rd century BC, Devanam Piyatissa, who was the king of Sri Lanka, at that time this Bhikkhuni Sangha was formed. But later on, it was discontinued after the 304 years after Sanghamitra's demise or establishment of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And in India, we are also aware that how after the 7th century AD, there is no any evidence of the Bhikkhuni Sangha or Buddhism also. There is a decline of our Buddhism in India also. But in Sri Lanka, there was a Bhikkhuni Sangha. But after 500 years of establishment of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, it was discontinued. Now, just you can say 25 years back, the Bhikkhuni Sangha was revived. And some of the Bhikkhunis who were staying in Sri Lanka, not having any Sangha, because there are some role of the Bhikkhus or Bhikkhu Sangha, they were not allowing Bhikkhuni to prosper in Sri Lanka, or even the Bhikkhus in Myanmar, they were not also allowing women to join the Buddhist Sangha. And they were thinking that they are not capable to get arhataship. In Sri Lanka also, the mindset was set that women are not capable. But for 900 years, we are not aware of any Bhikkhuni Sangha. It is just 25 years ago, there was a great revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha. In Sarnath in 1996, the Bhikkhunis from Taiwan, China, Thailand, and from Myanmar, some of the bhikkhus assembled together in Bodh Gaya, Bihar, and they asked for the revival of the Bhikkhuni Sangha. And it was decided by the Bhikkhu Sangha that let us have the revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha. And then at Sarnath in 1996, in the month of November, there was revival of the Bhikkhuni Sangha, and all the women were allowed to enter into the Bhikkhuni Sangha. They are struggling in all over the globe, all over the world, from the Australia, USA, Canada, Thailand. There are so many women who are struggling, like so many most venerable Bhikkhuni Dhammanand from Thailand. From Sri Lanka, we are having some of the Bhikkhunis. They are struggling. There were some Bhikkhunis who were professors of the Kelaniya University, and they became nun at Sarnath in 1996. So they are struggling. They are asking their positions in the Bhikkhunis, in the Buddhist Sangha. But it is due to some of the Bhikkhu's role, they are not getting the proper place. Even nowadays also, they are struggling all over the globe to have their place in the in the Buddhist Sangha. But still, there is a great support. There are some supports from other organizations like Mahabodhi Society of India, and other organizations in Sri Lanka and others in Australia. They are giving support for the revival of Bhikkhuni Sangha, which was established at the time of Sanghamitra in 251 BC, at the time of King Devanam Piyatissa in Sri Lanka. So there is a great struggle been going on, but still the you can say, the supports are going on from all, you can say, ladies and other things.
Thank you very
Mumuru,
much, Professor.
Mumuru Sato, do you have any question?
I don't have any question today. Thank you very much.
So, okay, in the next class, we will discuss the next remaining portions. But there are some of the portions in the reading material, if you'll see that what are the things which are related with the Buddhist cultures, like Patidan, the merits, what are the punya. So we'll discuss some of the things related with the Buddhist cultures, that how these cultures, Buddhist cultures which are coming from very past, how they are still going on. So in the next class, we'll discuss these things. So thank you very much. We will meet together in the next week. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Take care. Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.